On Global News Express, Plateau unveils e-governance platform for transparency. Lagos property owners build on drainage channels despite government notices. Nigeria breweries shareholders approve 600 billion naira capital raising plan. On foreign, Scotland First Minister resigns over confidence vote after 1 year in office. And on sports, River United reveal plan for outstanding NPFL matches. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global TV. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. Now the news in full. The resurgence of queues at filling stations across major cities in the country has started posing a challenge for motorists as it continues to have adverse impact on households and businesses across the sectors. While the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited says the scarcity is occasioned by issues related to logistics, the price of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, has skyrocketed across the country, with some states purportedly selling for between 1,200 and 1,500 naira. Here at the Federal Capital Territory, Global Television, Sharon Ajay follows this rather disturbing development for us. Sharon Ajay has details.
Especially those involved in the transportation business, lamenting the cost of living due to the high cost of food prices in the market. The fuel scarcity has made it a lot worse.
In fact, I'm not finding it funny. Buying something in the market is a problem. Queue again for filling station is a problem. I have my money in my hand. To buy fuel again is a problem. I was here before 6 o'clock before 7 o'clock this morning. Look at the time now. We are buying this thing and we are suffering queue again. Please, if you people can beg, help us and talk to people that you people are reporting to talk to these people for us. Nobody is finding it funny again for this Nigeria S-word.
Applauding the government for their efforts put in place to ease the cost of living for the masses. More measures should be put in place to curtail the fuel scarcity.
How can a country that produces crude oil be suffering this type of thing to get better? It's very, very unfair. I'm not in support of that. The government should do something. Though they are trying their best, but they should try more to make sure that the masses are happy. People are not happy. For over 2 weeks, queue here and there. I struggled for more than 2 hours before I could get inside here, which is not fair.
Over the years, the fuel scarcity has been occasionally, judging by the current worsened state of the scarcity of the regular queues. It's definitely uncertain when the scarcity would come to an end.
It's something that we have been battling with for the past many years, so it's not new to me.
Judging by the queue at Central Area NNPC, we see that the fuel scarcity still lingers, regardless of the claims made by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, in regards to the logistic issue that has caused the fuel scarcity to linger. We see that Nigeria still struggles to get fuel. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
Thank you, Sharon Ajay, for that report. The senator representing Kwara North Senatorial District in the National Assembly, Sadiq Umar, has described the current fuel scarcity in the country as worrisome. Umar said the scarcity has made it imperative for the Senate to review the fuel policy and come up with logistic intervention in its Tuesday sitting with a bid to nip the situation in the bud. He therefore called on Nigerians to be patient with the government, saying that frantic efforts are ongoing by the President Bola Tinubu-led administration to make life more bearable for Nigerians. On the hike in the electricity tariff, Umar hinted that the Senate will organize a public hearing on the matter to either reverse the policy or break it into phases. The Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang has unveiled an e-governance platform in the state. The e-governance platform is aimed at fostering transparent, efficient and accountable governance in the state. The governor disclosed this in a statement issued by its Director of Press and Public Affairs, Gang Berry. The platform allows citizens to provide feedback, request services and engage with government agencies, thereby contributing to the administration's effectiveness. The governor encouraged the public to utilize the platform to engage the government and to offer information, opinions on policies and inquiries on service offerings from MDAs while receiving timely feedback. Ogun State Governor Dakpo Abiodun ordered evacuation of residents in some of the buildings affected by gas explosion in the Itan Osun area of the Abeokuta North local government area of the state. The governor, during an on-the-spot assessment of damage done to properties and businesses around the area, said the evacuation would allow for integrity tests to be carried out on the affected buildings. Abiodun promises that the state would foot the hospital bills of victims of the incident, while owners of damaged properties will be compensated. Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Ben Kalu, says the traditional institutions in Nigeria must be strengthened and protected from the influence of elected officials. Mr. Kalu stated this during a visit to the palace of the Emir of Kano, Aminu Bayero. The Deputy Speaker, in a statement by his spokesperson, Levinis Nwangboingo, said the plan to engage with the traditional rulers in the ongoing constitutional amendment process and to incorporate the traditional institutions into the document. Kalu, the chairman of the House Committee on Constitution Review, said monarchs must have security of office not guaranteed by the local government chairman, governors, or the president, but by the Constitution. Over now to the Lagos State Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, in its effort to tackle flooding in the state, has commenced an enforcement initiative aimed at reclaiming a vital drainage channel known as the System 1 drainage channel midstream in the Ojota and Ogudu. The ministry's commissioner, Tokunbo Wahab, who tweets as Tokunbo Wahab on X.com, disclosed. He stated that an inspection revealed that property owners were building new structures within the designated area. Wahab stated that the contravention notice had been served to property owners in the area since 2021 to encourage voluntary compliance. However, some disregarded the notice and continued construction within the designated area. The drainage channel, which is very important to Lagos State, will address major flooding issues on the mainland and its environs. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has concluded plans to release the results of the 2024 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. JAMB Registrar Isaac Oloyede is scheduled to hold a press briefing in Abuja regarding the release of the results and related matters. As indicated in a notice calculated to journalists in the capital city, the board earlier clarified that the decision to delay the release of the result for a few days was made to allow ample time for thorough scrutiny. There are indications that results that would be released today are for the candidates that participated in the UTME in the first few weeks, while others will be released after due diligence is completed. Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State has announced a new minimum wage of 70,000 naira for civil servants. The governor made this known while inaugurating the Labour House Obaseki and named the Labour House after Adams Oshomole, senator representing Edo North and former governor of the state. The minimum wage regime in Edo will take effect from May 1st, 2024. Recall that Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, and Trade Union Congress, TUC, have been pushing for a new minimum wage for workers across the state. This is coming on the heels of the hardship occasioned by the economic reforms of President Bola Tinubu's administration. Meanwhile, the national minimum wage have been pegged at 30,000 naira since April 18th, 2019. The federal government has appealed to the United States of America to repatriate more illicit funds transferred from Nigerian officials through its banking system. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuggar, appealed in his remark at the 6th season of the Nigerian-U.S. Bi-National Commission in Abuja. He reiterated the Nigerian government's commitment to utilizing these funds for the collective benefit of its citizens, in line with agreements with development partners. You're watching News Express, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using that Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Express returns, poor power supply, governors hire consultants to break Disco's monopoly. This and other more stories coming right after this break. Do stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of News Express. Thank you for staying with us. Over now to our foreign scene. Scotland's First Minister Hamza Yusuf has resigned after facing the prospect of defeat in 2 confidence votes. Yusuf was appointed First Minister on 29th March 2023, becoming the youngest person, the first Scottish Asian, and the first Muslim to serve in office. After serving for 1 year and 1 month, Yusuf arranged a press conference at Bute House in Edinburgh to announce his resignation. He had informed his party's national secretary of his intention to step down and requested the commencement of a leadership contest for his replacement as soon as possible. According to the UK Guardian, he plans to stay on as First Minister until his successor is elected. The first proceedings in a swearing multi-part trial against members of an alleged far-right plot to attack the German parliament and overthrow the government began in Stuttgart. 9 members of the group, led by the minor autocrat and businessman Prince Heinrich Ross, will take the stand in his southwestern city. This included, among others, a special forces soldier, a former far-right MP, an astrologer, and a well-known chef. Prosecutors accused them of preparing a tremendous undertaking to topple the German government. The affair is the most high-profile recent case of the far-right violence, which officials say has grown to become the biggest extremist threat in Germany. Kenya has postponed the reopening of schools for the second-term season of 1 week due to flooding that has killed over 70 citizens. The resumption, which was supposed to commence today, has been delayed till May 6th. This was contained in a statement by the EGH Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Education, Dr. Ezekiel Machago. The ministry, however, assured that measures to mitigate the adverse effect of the rains will be put in place. Over to business. Governors of the 36 states of the Federation have agreed to work together to tackle epileptic power supply in the country. As part of measures to achieve this objective, the governors have agreed to take steps to break the monopoly of DISCOs in power distribution across the state. Shareholders of Nigeria's foremost brewing company, Nigerian Breweries PLC, has unanimously approved capital raising of 600 billion naira by way of rights issued at the 78th annual general meeting of the company held at the Muson Center Shell Hall, Onikon, Lagos. With this development, the board now has authorization to undertake capital restructuring by way of a right issue that will enable all company shareholders and the opportunity to acquire more shares in proportion in their holdings, at a price determined by the board taking into consideration the market conditions. According to Hamistra, the objective of raising fresh capital to the tune of 600 billion naira is to enable the company settle its outstanding FX payables as well as part of the local bank facilities, which will lead to the elimination of the naira devaluation risk of foreign exchange losses, as well as the reduction of huge interest burden on the company. In sports now, Alex Iwobi has moved ahead of John Mikel Obi on the list of highest capped Nigerian players in the Premier League, as Iwobi was in action for 90 minutes in Fulham's 1-1 draw with Crystal Palace at the Craven Cottage on Saturday, which was his 250th Premier League appearance. The 27-year-old was previously tied on 249 appearances with former Chelsea midfielder Mikel Iwobi, would now set his sights on upsurging Yakubu Ayembemi in 3rd position. Still on sports, Rivers United have revealed plans to prosecute their 5 outstanding Nigerian Premier Football League fixtures and assume a vintage position in the standing for a continental ticket by season's end. Their head coach Stanley Oguma agreed their works is cut out, but believes the team will climb pride of place on the log. Being the main focus of the team and the Rivers State government to achieve the target, the veteran NPFL tactician stressed the need to rotate the squad by introducing fresh legs to provide pace and strength, with the majority of players similarly fagged out. For the second consecutive time in 2 months, the Super Eagles have seen their squad market value drop in the transfer market. Despite finishing second at the 2023 African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast in February, the 3-time African champions suffered a massive drop of 121 million euros, the first time this year. They dropped down 2 steps and are now ranked the 15th most valuable international players team in the world, while retaining their position as the most financially valuable team in Africa. Now, as we end News Express, let's take a quick look at our top stories again. Plateau unveils e-governance platform for transparency. Lagos property owners build on drainage channels despite government notices. Nigerian breweries shareholders approve 600 billion naira capital raising plan. And on foreign, Scotland First Minister resigns over confidence vote after 1 year in office. And finally, on sports, Rivers United reveal plans for outstanding MPFL matches. And that's it on News Express, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Remember, we're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms by using a Global TV engine or the handles now showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.